Hey y'all. So listen, I got a story for y'all today, and it is 100% real and true, though very supernatural, okay, and paranormal, which let me tell you, paranormal is not just about ghosts and spirits, okay, but it reflects things that may be hard to understand or explain initially, or even it seems like it's impossible to explain, but with careful, thought and investigation, it can be explained, right? The definition, like the textbook definition of paranormal, is denoting events or phenomena such as telekinesis, telepathy, or even clairvoyance that are beyond the scope of normal scientific understanding. That's the actual definition of paranormal. So let me go ahead and start this story. Woo. So initially, I met this false twin flame around 2014. Okay. It was literally like a demonic setup. Seriously, like from the beginning to the end, it was just like so supernatural and paranormal how this happened. Okay. So me and my then husband, we were going through a split because he had revealed to me that he was interested in this female that he was working with, right? And it's crazy because I later found out that he had actually slept with this woman. Like years later, I had found out that he had actually committed adultery with this woman. So after discussing his interest in this female, I decided that I wanted a divorce. And he agreed he wanted the divorce too. So at that point, I began to make plans on, okay, what do I do from here? Where do I go from here? Because I got to figure out the living situation. I got to get some extra money going here, so that I can go ahead and split and make this divorce happen. So I had went on Craigslist because I was just like looking for like quick opportunities to help and make some money. And I also knew that I had to figure out a living arrangement, right? And it just so happened, y'all, there was this ad. And this person, we're going to call him Hebrew. I'm not going to say his real name. We're going to call him Hebrew, okay? This person, Hebrew, had this ad. Now, I should have been, we talking about 2014, y'all. So this is what, 10 years ago? So who you are 10 years ago is definitely not who you are today. Unless, of course, you're someone who doesn't evolve or change, right? So in the ad, he was dressed like a mysterious person. He had on this hoodie and all black, and he was sitting on this bench in this real debonair type of pose. And that caught my eye right away. I was like, what is this? So the headline was something like looking for administrative help. And I was like, oh, let me see what this is. So I click on the ad, and in the ad, he was explaining how his business is booming and he needs some administrative help right away, willing to exchange room and board and commission. And I was like, how? This sounds perfect, right? For what I'm going through right now. So I reached out, I contacted him. Okay. And we had set up this date where we were supposed to meet like 2 weeks from when we had talked. We were going to meet up at the library, and we were going to discuss, the ins and outs, and we was going to write up this contract and what I was supposed to do for him and all the administrative stuff and the agreement for room and board. So he knew my situation because in between that time of that 2 week span, he was calling me and texting me every day, checking on me because he knew what I was going through a situation. He knew I was getting ready to separate from my husband and I was going through a divorce at the time. So it wasn't nothing, sexual or nothing like that at the time. It was very friendly. Like, are you okay? Is everything still on? Are we still good? Are you still good? And it was just common communication. So when it came close to that time for us to actually meet, my then husband decided he doesn't want the divorce, and he sat me down and he begged me not to divorce him, and he gave me all of these things that he's going to do different, and everything I can do. You want to be a stay-at-home mom, you can do whatever you want, da 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 da, just please don't leave me die. So in my mind, I'm thinking, well, I'm already married to the man. I don't want to take my kids through this, so we might as well stick it out. And I agreed to take him back, and I agreed not to go forward with the divorce. So I had to let him know, the Hebrew, his name is Hebrew, right? Okay. I had to let Hebrew know that I couldn't go forward with the opportunity. So he was disappointed, but it wasn't nothing serious or anything. It was just kind of like, oh, okay, I understand. Well, can I follow you on Facebook? And I was like, yeah, you can follow me on Facebook, but I'm getting ready to deactivate that page. I might not be on there for a while or whatever. So we exchanged Facebook information. He followed me, and then I deactivated the account for like a whole year or so, right? So I hadn't been on Facebook for like a whole year at the time. And I had wrote this book, which y'all already know about, called Memories of a Girl Once Was. I'll put the link down below. It was selling on Amazon, got great reviews. But before that, before I even get to that, I had wrote the book, okay, typed it out, everything. It was complete. So I decided, I should probably open my Facebook page back up so that I can promote this book, right? So I opened my Facebook page back up, and then I was seeing like posts from him. And I was like, oh yeah, I remember this guy. So what caught my eye was that he was looking for authors. Dun dun dun. The setup, baby, the setup. You hear me? I get back on Facebook because I want to promote my book, and he's advertising looking for authors, okay? Now, mind you, great businessman. I'm going through all his stuff. He has incredible influence. He's very popular. Business doing well. He's legitly putting out books, and I'm like, oh, this is perfect. What? And then I noticed he had a fiance. Okay, so I was like, well, that's even better because I'm married. He has a fiance. We can just do business, keep it moving. So I reach out. Right? And it was a very simple reach out. I was like, congratulations on, you have a fiance now. That's wonderful. I see that you're looking for authors to publish. I said, and I just so happen to have wrote this book, and I need help putting it out. I know nothing about publishing. Can you please help me? And he was like, oh my God, yes, I remember you. I'm so willing to do this for you. I would love to do this. Let's do this, right? And so we had the whole discussion about what the plan was going to be. He was going to write up this contract, a legit contract, which would show how much percentage he would get, how much percentage I would get, and the whole process of doing the proofing and the editing of the book. So as we're talking about these things over a span of a couple of days, he then mentions to me, oh, and by the way, that's not my fiance. And I should have took that as a red flag, but I was just like, I'm just trying to do this book thing. And when he said, oh, by the way, that's not my fiance, I was just like, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was just like, oh, okay. Which was odd to me because I'm clearly looking at your pages, your Instagrams, your Facebook, and I'm seeing her posting all over the place about the fact that y'all are getting married. So I just ignored that. I was like, I don't know why he said that to me. Whatever the case may be, let's just get this contract going. So he does eventually email me the contract, and I print it out. And let me tell y'all, it's like as soon as I printed out that contract, something shifted. I didn't even sign it yet because we had made this plan where we were going to meet up, do what do we call that when you got to get the things signed? Notary. We were going to do the whole notary and get it signed, and he was going to give me my copies, and we were going to go from there. So I had printed out the contract to go over it, to read over it, to make sure the percentages and everything were good. I had even told my husband, I said, at the time, I said, oh my God, I done found somebody who's going to help me legitly put this book out, right? So I'm excited about this. But it's like time I printed out the contract, y'all, he went through this whole 380, 180, 260, whatever y'all want to call it. And when I tell you, he started love bombing the He started love bombing me, right? And it's crazy because at the time, me and my then husband's relationship was obviously rocky because we had just was thinking about divorce, and he had just told me he was interested in some woman, and we were still trying to get past that. So the relationship was already rocky, and then here is this guy coming in, getting ready to do this book for me, and then all of a sudden he's love bombing. Oh, I just have to tell you, I feel something just all kinds of stuff, right? And texting me. Now, at first, I will admit that I was kind of falling into it because he was doing things, and I'll explain more about that later on in this video. But he was doing things that were very out of this world, okay? And I couldn't explain it. Like calling me at 11:11, sending me emails at 11:11, calling me at 1:11 a.m. I might be thinking a thought about him, and all of a sudden he'll text me, hey, are you thinking about me? And I was like, what the? And then he started sending me messages saying, I'm going to steal you from your husband. Like he was, and I felt flattered by that at first, I can admit, because he was like, I'm getting ready to take you from your husband, and he don't deserve you, and I love you more than he does. And and I was looking at all these signs, and he started showing up in my dreams like every other night, and I started to get confused. Like I started thinking to myself, is this my twin flame? Because, I had knew that I was on this twin flame journey from 2012 because of the activation with the 11:11 and the different things that I had been experiencing on trying to get deeper in my spirituality. And so I was like, wow, could this person be my twin flame? But then as I started to, what I would say, either watch him, investigate him more, I started to see like, wait a minute, he is still with this woman. And this woman is all over the internet saying that she's about to marry this man. This is her whole fiance. She's calling this man her husband. So at that point, I was like, I can't do this. This isn't right, right? Now, mind you, we had not even ever met in person at all. So after some careful, consideration, I was like, this isn't going to work. I can't do this. It's not right. So I sent him this long email saying that I know you are actually supposed to be marrying this woman. I know that you actually have someone, and yet you're constantly saying how you want to meet up with me at the hotels, how you love me, how you're going to steal me and take me from my husband, how, just love bombing me, showing up in my dreams, all this stuff. So I said, I can't do this. I sent him a long email and I said, this isn't right. I won't do this. I can't do this. And I said, unfortunately, I can't go forward with this contract. And that's what I told him. I was like, please, at this point, stop calling me, stop texting me, stop emailing me. This isn't right. I won't do it. I can't do it. So after I sent him that email, ironically, he allows her to then find all said communications that had took place between us, So at that point, they both started harassing me. I kid you not. At that point, and I'm sitting here so lost because I'm like, never met this man. Why are you so threatened by me? I broke it off. I never even went forward with this guy. Like, I told him to stop contacting me. And for some strange reason, she felt so threatened by me that she started trying to say I'm this witch and using the Bible against me, saying the witches should be killed and all this stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, what am I doing? Right? So both of them. Okay, I got both of these people harassing me, sending, like, they would make fake profiles. I block them. They make more. Block them. They make more. He was constantly, I mean, he was finding all kinds of ways to reach out to me. Every time I would block him, he would make a new page. He would call and text me from other numbers. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna take you. I mean, and this is after, and I'm constantly saying, please stop, leave me alone. I don't want you. I don't want this. I've been saying stop, and I'm telling her, she's messaging me, leave my man alone and all this stuff, and I'm like, girl, I don't even want him. Do you not understand? I'm sending her the little text like, look at this right here. I'm telling him to leave me alone. You're doing this, you're putting something on him. And I'm like, first of all, I've never believed in that. Like, I think it's wrong. And I know that, and I'm sorry if I'm stepping on toes, but it is what it is. I have to be real about myself and what I believe in. And I have never been the type to believe in putting spells on people to make them fall in love with you. I don't even believe in doing spells to hurt people. I don't. The only thing I do is I do things to protect myself and my family. I never do things to like direct it at someone, right? So I was doing none of that. I wasn't doing none of that. And for some reason, because she knew I did tarot at the time and stuff like that, you're a witch and you're putting spells on him and that's why he can't let you go and that's stuff. And I'm just like, no, ma'am, no. So I experienced this, y'all, for a good almost 2 years of the constantly being harassed by both of them. First, her telling me to leave him alone, and then him constantly saying he's about to take me and all this stuff. You're mine. I mean, literally, y'all, just like, so at that point, I was like, this is something else. I feel like I'm supposed to understand something else about this because I'm literally innocent in this. We never even met. We never even went further for nothing. You hear me? And I even broke this up. Like, I'm like, okay, how am I in the wrong in this? I don't get it, right? So at that point, I started researching, like dealing with toxic things when you're on the twin flame journey. And then that's when I came across information about false twin flames. And I had never really, knew anything about false twin flames. That was my first time hearing about it, finding out about it when I researched it after dealing with him. So, honey, I'm sweating a little bit, y'all. So, sorry. So, look. So then, I'm like, this sounds like what I'm dealing with. This literally sounds like what I'm dealing with. This whole unhealthy obsession, this whole toxicity, this whole stalking me, this whole literally he was telling me, I'm your twin flame, right? He was literally, and I'm thinking to myself, is this my twin flame? Is this how it's supposed to go? Is this really my twin flame? Okay, so I'm researching this and I figure out, oh, false twin flame, he's a false twin flame. So then I'm like, now something else is deeper than this. It's even deeper than this. So I said to myself, well, I'm going to do a past life reading, right, on this. I'm going to see what the past life reading reveals in regards to us, right? So, y'all, I do this past life reading on us and I was blown away, okay? Because it made so much sense as to what I was dealing with. Though I couldn't completely understand his female's part in this, I'm guessing it was just something he had on her, right? Because no matter what I said about what he had done or what he was doing, it's like she was totally blocked out. She didn't believe anything I said, no matter if I sent her receipts, anything. And I don't want him. It is like no matter what I said, she would not believe it. So I believe it was some sort of hold he had on her. So in this past life reading, y'all, it was revealed that he had, in this particular past life, that he had paid for me. Like I was sold to him, y'all. I was sold to him as a sex slave. That's what this past life reading revealed. And he literally kept me like locked up to where I never saw the outside. And one day, somehow, I escaped the situation. I escaped. And it was like he had made this, and I got away, right? And he had made this vow to himself that he will find me again. And when he finds me, I will be his forever and I will never get away again. And y'all, it blew my mind because I'm like, that's literally what was happening in the situation. And it's like his past life self, that past life energy, literally has set this up. This whole, from the, like, come on, like from that moment where I found that ad to this. And that's wild to me. Okay. And it was like, he had made it up in his mind that I was not going to get away this time. And that inner demon within him was like, I paid for you and you got away. You owe me. You're mine. I pay for you. You're my property. And that's literally like how that energy was that he was giving to me. And I had never even met this person. So, like, physically. So I said, okay, that's what I'm dealing with here. I'm dealing with this past life energy from this person, this being. So y'all, I was stalked and harassed for almost 2 years until one day I wrote the fiance. And let me just tell y'all, they experienced karma messing with me. They really did. But let me tell you, they thought I was doing something, and like I said, I was not, because even though they were harassing me, doing all those things, trying to spread false lies about me, saying I was a witch, doing all of those things, for some reason it was not touching me. Like, it wasn't affecting my life, it wasn't affecting my family, it wasn't affecting my situation, my money, my tarot, my business. It wasn't even they were trying to destroy my reputation. It wasn't even touching it. And yet every time I turned around, as soon as they started like harassing me, they started going through catastrophic things, right? I kid you not. And they thought it was me, like that I was doing something. You're a witch, you put the split, you're doing all this and that. And I'm thinking to myself, it's not me, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing nothing. Like, I'm telling y'all to leave me alone. That's all I'm doing. And he started begging me to make it stop. I'm sorry, it's funny a little bit. And I'm like, I'm not doing it. That's y'all karma y'all experiencing for messing with me. I ain't even doing it. You know what I mean? And so eventually I had wrote up this email and I said, if you guys don't stop harassing me, trying to destroy my reputation with false lies, because at some point I started saving all the emails, all the texts and the phone calls and everything that was going on. And I told them that I have a file going on now, that if they continue, I will go to the police, because there is a such thing as social media and internet harassment, and you can go to the police with it, with your evidence and everything else. And after that, it started to taper. After that, they were like, oh, wait a minute, you know what I'm saying? And it started tapering off. They stopped, harassing me and stuff. And that was a very demonic situation. Okay, very demonic situation. But eventually, they both stopped harassing me. Eventually, though, every now and then, they would still, like, try to watch me and stuff like that. I would see their little faces and stuff pop up on my stories and stuff. And then I would go right to the page and block them and stuff like that. It was crazy. As much as I blocked them and told them to leave me alone and wasn't even entertaining none of it, that they would just come stronger through some false conviction that they had within themselves that wasn't even right. And that's why they were going through the things that they were going through, but they didn't know they were messing with the wrong person. Like, my spirit guides was like, nah. And like I said, I'm the type of person, I don't believe at all in doing spells on trying to get back at people and love spells and all that other stuff. I don't do that. I don't. So that's my story of how I dealt with and what I dealt with when it comes to the experience I had with the false twin flame. Now, what did I learn from this situation? One, never mix business with pleasure. Never. It will not turn out the way you want it to in the end. Because I was really hurt by the fact that I thought I had someone who was going to help me to get my book out there in the proper way, only for this person to prey on me and want something else in the end. Intentions were not really true. Intentions were not real. And even though I forfeited getting my book published the way that I would have liked to, and I had to do it myself, and I did, it was important for me to follow my moral and value code in that situation. And I'm glad I did, spiritually. So, two, what did I learn? Y'all, some men are literally warlocks, y'all. If you did not know, I'm going to tell you right now, take heed. Some men are literally warlocks with supernatural powers to be able to read your thoughts, and then, well, they will then take actions based on what they read inside of you, and then they take advantage of your weaknesses that you may have at that time. Now, you may or may not believe me, but I'm here to tell you because I experienced it. That's how all that supernatural stuff was happening. He was reading what was going on in my situation with my then husband, and how, the traumas I had on the inside of me, and he was using it to try to, get into my head and in my heart. But in the end, it didn't work. There are literally men out here that can read you like so hard, y'all. Like, I'm serious. Like, it's a gift, right? But like, I remember this warlock who was literally able to tell me everything I was thinking inside my head, word from word. I didn't say nothing out loud, and yet he was able to repeat back to me, this is what you're thinking. And then when I experienced that, and what I experienced with this person and some other experiences, I knew that warlocks exist. I knew that. And let me tell you how I feel about that. I'm not saying that it's wrong to have that gift. And I'm not saying that every person or every male who has that ability to read the feminine energy or read people's thoughts and I'm telling y'all, it's real. I don't care what y'all say. I know. I'm not speaking from out the side of my head. I'm speaking from what I have experienced. Okay? And what's wrong with that is that there are men out here, y'all, so be careful. It might be some women too, who are able to read your thoughts, read your energy, read what's going on, read your weaknesses, and then they'll use it against you. And let me tell you what's wrong with that. That goes against spiritual law. It's immoral. It's immoral. And it will never fly in the spiritual realm. Warning. It is immoral to use that gift, to misuse that gift for your own selfish reasons, for deceitful actions. It's wrong. Let me just put it out there. What else did I learn from that situation? That having a solid moral code and value system is actually very helpful in this life, because it will keep you out of certain situations that you don't need to be in, as long as you have that moral and value code in place and you adhere to it and you stick to it, no matter what is presented to you. Because I forfeited getting my book really popular and popping because I could not stand for that. I couldn't stand for that, and I wouldn't stand for that, and I didn't stand for that. And I'm thankful for that, because in the end, I broke that that vow, that contract, that past life contract that was trying to infiltrate my life, that demonic, that karmic contract, because this person's past life DNA energy could not let go of the fact that I got away. It's real. I do past life readings. That's one of my passions, past life readings. Every single past life reading I've done has been revelatory to the person. Hey, if any of you are watching this and I did your past life reading, y'all comment or something, let them know. It's real, right? The fourth thing I learned was that divine, spiritual, godly, ancestral protection is very real. Especially when you are actually innocent. In the situation, you will be helped. And you will be protected. And you won't even have to lift a finger. Spiritual law. That's what I learned. I learned that I was right in my thinking to let God erect the karma, to let God handle the situation, to let the divine work it out. Because I knew in the end that my intentions from the beginning had always been pure. You know, and I admit it, like I said, I almost fell into it because I was in a weakness. And then something clicked off in my head like, nah, this ain't right. And I hurried up and deaded that, okay, quickly. So that's my false twin flame story, y'all. And that's amazing, you guys. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. And I will be back with another one. If there's anything y'all want me to do a reading, or not a reading, but a video on, which I do readings. Let me just mention that I'm on TikTok. I'm on Instagram, MetaQuip88, and the Divine Priestess as well. I do definitely do readings in my Etsy shop as well, with over 200 plus positive reviews, y'all. So, you know, I'll be up with y'all next time. Thank you.